Hello everyone, Professor Halsey here, and this is 5.5 in our Zybook assignments for CEIS150. And here we're looking at Matplotlib, and this is one of my favorite libraries. I used to use it a long time ago when I was an engineering student, and it's just amazing how far it's come and what I can do with it now as compared to what I could do with it ages ago. Love having this package. There's actually a program called MATLAB that is math programming. It's a lot of fun. So if you're a math geek, or if you don't like math and want to find a way to program math, it's the best way to do it. Better than using a calculator. Anyway, advantages of Matplotlib. It can be used in Python script shells, IPython, and Jupyter notebooks. Well, all I care right now is I can use it in my Python scripts. That's awesome. I can import this library. It doesn't matter where it came from. It's going to do these functions for us now that we've imported it into our Python programs. It uses MATLAB style functions. So if you've ever used MATLAB, then you know how easy it is to use. It runs on Mac OS, Linux, and Windows, and it's customizable. The Matplotlib package it's made to display static and dynamic plots. The package works across multiple platforms. Yes, it does. For a figure created using the Matplotlib package, blank can be adjusted. The axis and the tick marks, the labels and the tick marks, we can adjust it all and make it fit our own style and have it display the figure and show the different labels that are available. Okay, so just a quick walk through. The figure object holds all plot elements. So this is your figure object. And it'd be referred to as plt.figure, like you can see there. Tick marks and labels can be set manually for the X and Y axis. So you can see here you have plot X label, plot X ticks, plot Y label, and plot Y ticks. Other objects like scatter plot, legend, and title can also be added. So up here we have a title, a legend, a scatter plot. This is more or less your data that's coming in. Okay. So it's real neat how we can vary what we can see on these plots and set it up like we want to. Are figure and show functions necessary? The figure functions needed when changing the default size of the figure. The size of the figure can be specified using figure size. Since a figure is implicitly created whenever the plot or scatter function is called, calling the figure function is not necessary if the default figure size is acceptable, right? The default size is 6.4 inches by 4.8 inches. Here we're looking at how to adjust the figure size. So we'll click run and see it go and adjust. So first you're plotting the figure. In 5x6. Okay, so you can change those dimensions there if you want and rerun that again and again. Here they're looking at Click the plot to enlarge. Gotcha. Okay, so we run it. It gives us a plot, and we can click it and see the enlarged version. Click it again to shrink it. Creating the scatter plot. So here you're going to have a lot where you're just running it to see the plot that comes out. So you can see what a scatter plot looks like. Which of the following lines of code creates a figure? And we need the parentheses around at the end to make sure that works. Which of the following lines of code saves a figure using the file name photo.png? Should be in quotes. Under which of the following circumstances would plot.fig be included in the code? When the default size does not need to be changed. No, if we're using the default size, we don't need it. And this is the default size, 6.4 by 4.8. Pretty sure that's what they said up here. The default size was... Well, up here they said inches. Down here it says centimeters. I'm not sure if that's a trick or which one. Oh, yeah, because here it is in inches. So this one. All right, labeling plots. So they're showing us here how we can add in the different labels. Our legend, as well as the labels for the X and Y axis. Okay, so let's check this out. The pie plot functions display the plots. The line plot on top displays total highway fatalities, and the line plot on the bottom displays alcohol-related fatalities. Okay, the pie plot title, X label, and Y label functions add text for the axis. Alcohol-related fatalities up top. And the highway fatalities here and year here. So we got title, X label, Y label. The pie plot annotate function adds text linked to specific coordinates within the figure. Here the text is located at 1986 30,000. So apparently they just knew exactly where they wanted that at. And they put a drinking age change to 21. And the arrow and the XY coordinates, and then the text. The pie plot legend function adds a legend within the figure. Matplot chooses the best location for the legend, but location can be specified manually. So here's our legend function, and we're done with that one. Okay, again, here you just want to run and see the plot. And there we go. Write a line of code that creates the title Old Faithful Eruptions with a font size of 18. Okay, I like to have my examples, so I came back up here and copied my title example up there. Plot.title, let's see, and alright, so I can get rid of that. And the parentheses are already there, so we want to get rid of the alcohol-related fatalities on the highways. And in the quotes, we're going to put Old Faithful Eruptions with a font size of 18. Okay, write a line of code that places the text scatter plot at the coordinates 3, 4. Could not find an example for this one, so I'm going to show my answer. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was scatter plot 3, 4 or 3, 4 scatter plot. So we do 3, 4, comma, and then in quotations, our scatter plot. Okay, write a line of code that places a legend at the lower right corner of the figure. Okay, so here I found the description. It's lower left. Alright, so we would plot legend lower left. Okay. Lower right. There we go. No, I still got it wrong. Oh, I should be putting it in quotes. There we go. Okay, so we can change the color or the style of the plots. There's different colors listed here, different marker types. And again, they just want us to run this one. See the little dots for the... Alright, another one to just run. And you can see here where the triangle is used. Dotted line plot. Then you can see it's dashes, dots, dashes. Choose the format string used to style the line. So that one's going to be a dash R, I believe, with the dash dash, or R dash dash. Okay, the thin diamond marker would be lowercase md. Magenta, and the lowercase d is for the thin diamond marker. Okay, and here we have blue. Line. There we go. The line style as well. Okay. Alright, and another one just good example code to have so that you know how these plots work, how to format the different types of plots. So it's great that we have lots and lots of examples here. Write a line of code that creates vertical grid lines on the figure below. So, okay, I was not finding any good examples here, so I just went with the show me. And it makes sense. Here our axis is X. All right. So write a line of code that creates vertical grid lines in the figure below. Axis equals X. This parameter specifies which axis the grid lines are drawn. Okay, write a line of code that creates the dashed vertical and horizontal grid lines below. So we just specify line style equals, and then we put in quotes dash dash for the type of line style that we want. Oh, oops. There we go. All right, write a line of code that creates the blue dotted vertical and horizontal grid lines below. So see blue. All right, so just like we had up there, our line style, well, except for this is colon is what they have for the line style. And then we just put in a comma and the color, and this one is going to be B for blue. Yep, I got one double and one single there. It didn't like it. Stay consistent. Multiple plots, and again, they just want us to run this here, and we can see what the code is showing us. Okay, so I came up here and looked at our example, and I'm going to grab this. And whereas I don't think it asked for all the details there, we can use, right, let me just backspace it. Come, and did I delete? No, there we go. Okay, get rid of the come. Okay, so it's a SUP title. All right. Write the code for the subplot function that corresponds to the plot in the first row and second column of the figure. Okay, again, I'm coming up to my example. I think this is what they're looking for, the subplot number 2. So I'm going to give that a shot. Yes, there we go. So we have the plot, subplot 1, 2, 2. All right, thank you very much. Join me back shortly for 5-6.